Did I maybe leave it too soon?
Maybe?
Do you see us now?
Are we live?
Please. Oh, thank
There.
God.
Okay. So, fun fact, David and I have been sitting here streaming
Yeah.
for 10 minutes.
Yep.
The emojis that were popping up from the LangTime account were because they were part of our discussion.
Yeah.
We have been commenting on your comments for 10 minutes. And suddenly I realized that the way the comment discussion was going, it seemed like nobody was hearing anything we were saying.
Like Carl, I thought you responded to what I said because
it kind of made sense.
Yeah, he was,
it was
like,
really weird.
He said, "Hola, mis niños," which means hello, my children. Then I made like some comment in Spanish about how we are all Carl's children, and then like a second later, he wrote, ha ha in Spanish, J-A-J-A. So I thought like he was laughing at the comment I made about his comment. Like
that was really bizarre. And now I guess we get a restart since we get to now redo everything we thought we already told you about.
Yeah.
This is reminiscent, but this was not as bad as the time that we recorded an entire work session only to find out there was no audio for any of it.
That was our very, very first stream together. It was I as an experiment, I decided to bring Jessie in to stream one of our Motherland Fort Salem work sessions, and it was so much fun, and it was hilarious, and it was like one of the best things ever. And we recorded like an hour's worth of nothing, absolute dead silence.
And so this is not as bad. We caught it within 10 minutes. Wow, that was really bizarre though. A few things I do want to make sure we re-point out, that we revisit. One of the reasons David showed the new icons, the new emojis, is as a way of saying thank you again to Kay, who gifted 10 memberships. And we believe that what happened was YouTube just sort of handed them out with whatever algorithm they used to select from the people who were watching the live stream at the time.
Yeah.
And so they're just sort of randomly gifted. But that is because of Kay, and since they were gifted, we were allowed to add more emojis. And so if you are one of the green named people, now you are a member who has access to those emojis. And you have 7 to choose from, including the digital Kanan, the voting mouse, and the slug and mouse piloting the little LTS cardboard airplane.
Yeah, so these are the original 4, and you've probably seen us use those before, but the new ones, so there's voting mouse. Digital Kanan turned out to be the most visible Kanan. And then we have the aviator mouse with his little snail navigator. Ah, yeah. See, I was wondering about that. So Ragdoll says my YouTube doesn't have the feature to receive any memberships. And
so that would be another reason the algorithm would skip over people.
Yeah, that might be a thing that that's a part of your preferences.
Okay, Patrick says the first 2 don't work. I bet especially the voting mouse does not, because it was made for a dark background, and so
it's got a black outline.
I don't think the voting mouse does actually.
Really?
Yeah, I made it to stand out on a dark background, which meant I didn't want any black lines making the image smaller, because I made it specifically for Discord.
Okay.
With its dark. Well, anyway.
This is...
Oh, the digital Kanan is unreadable with the light mode. Okay.
Yeah, like...
Well, good to
seriously, dark mode everywhere.
That's... David
Easy on the eyes.
David is very particular about that. Okay, so that was one thing we had announced.
Yeah, that was one.
I forget what else. I think we were just having chit chat with the commenters. That was going nowhere because we thought we were responding to you.
We were having a delightful conversation with you all, and you were just ignoring us.
And so, yeah. Cool. All right. So here we are. I think we're back to the poll.
Yeah.
We will.
We started talking about the poll. Like, we did a whole bunch of stuff.
Oh, that's when you made the joke about how you checked the results at 12:45 because you
Yeah.
were an hour off. It was. It's too tiring to relive it, and yet those were some good conversations.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get to some poll results to wrap up this Sarkisier vocabulary that we had started last week. Before we
Yeah.
move on to Haughòf and a kingdom name, because
Yeah.
that's going to be super important.
Okay, what have I been saying? Oh, right. Okay, so the poll. So this poll was to come up with a word for soldiers. For
Did you see Jonathan's comment? Easy on the eyes, like the Copicon website.
Oh yeah, but that was just for decoration. That's not for like functional use like this.
Anyway.
The poll was to come up with a word for the soldiers, and my thought was that because sometimes we do different words for same class but at different levels. I thought they should be the same for this one, but even so, there's only one soldier cat. I figured there would be an entire class of soldier cats, and so it should be kind of a generic name. The soldiers kind of predominantly use a shield and a sword, and the shield is like one of their big things. Like they have the best defense of any unit. They can defend adjacent units when they're attacked, and so we came up with 5 potential words based on shield and sword. The first one was the basic Malmo protector, very similar to the city.
Which, yes,
we've been to.
We have visited, well, it's actually, I guess it's an umlaut at the end, isn't it? It's
Malmö. Yeah, so this one is just...
Or not an umlaut, but a cross through O. In Sweden.
This is much more sensible.
And yes, that was an exciting trip. Lovely, lovely place. So if you've never been there, you should try it out.
Yeah.
And visit Lund while you're there, and there are beautiful cobblestone streets.
Yeah. So mal is just the verb for to protect, and mo is the mouse. I'm sorry, the cat suffix. So malmo is a cat protector. If you kind of turn that into a repetitive, you get marrats, which or marras. Right. The verb marras was just kind of like to guard regularly. So marratmo would be like a guard or a bodyguard or something like that. We had one more, which was option 5 that I thought of later for shield, which is malka is shield, and so malkamo would be like a shield cat. Now going to the verb chi is to swipe, which is and then from that we got chike, which is sword. But one idea we had was if it was just himi, swiper, somebody that swipes things, that's one option. And swiping the action, not swiping as a synonym for stealing. And then we have hikeme, just like malkamo. So hike is sword, hikeme would be a sword cat. So
all good options, by the way. And apparently Malmo does have an umlaut, and Matisse has friends there.
Matisse has friends?
Wow.
That was terrible, and Matisse has been great defending dark mode. He didn't deserve that. My apologies. McCain of the Netherlands.
Anyway.
All right, so we actually had a very clear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for this poll, and so that was kind of fun.
Also very interesting because I swear up until about yesterday there were like 3 that were tied. So there were a lot of shifts here at the end, and I'm excited to find out what they were because I have not looked, and I scrolled right past them whenever I opened this up, so I literally don't know what you're about to announce, and I'm so excited.
Yeah, so number 5 is Malkamo, Shield Cat. So that was the least voted one. And it was also one of the 4 that was not italicized because things don't italicize on my screen. How weird. Anyway, so I think that probably they were looking at Malmo and Malkamo and just thought that Malmo was better of the 2, and so that's probably why Malkamo has the least votes. It's interesting. It sounds like a Redwall name. For me, it sounded like Malto Meal. And I was like really excited about putting it together, and then I put it together and I heard how it sounded. I was like, oh, yeah. Anyway.
As a person who adored Malt-O-Meal as a child, that actually makes me very happy.
Wow. All right.
Loved it.
Okay. So that was number 5. Coming in at number 4 was another one built off Shield, marratsmo. It was kind of a busy word because of the S going to Z before M and Z going to TS. So marratsmo is guard. That one finished in 4th place. Then there was a big jump between 1, 2, and 3, and these were very close. But there still was a clear preference. Number 3 was Chimi. So I'm sorry, but Swiper will not be doing any swiping.
That's like, obviously Chimi is its own word, but like just calling it Swiper, immediately Dora the Explorer pops into my mind. Swiper, no swiping. But it's neither here nor there. It's just that's how we verbalized the English translation.
Oh man,
that was
that
was all right. It was not perfect, but I'll take it.
All right. Okay, next. That's the word for Tinder, Swiper. Our top 2. Again, they were very close, but it was kind of like there was an even space between 2 and 3, and then between 1 and 2. Number 2 turned out to be Hikeme. In other words, the swords cat. So that was number 2, and number 1 was Malmo.
Oh, that makes me happy.
Yeah.
Okay, so now to figure out which. Oh, snap. I did not check which document you opened.
I did not check which ones I opened either.
But you opened Haughòf, and that's the important thing. I was like, because I saw Sarkishe was open, and I momentarily got very concerned. Okay, so we did the soldier. The 3-star cat soldier is now Momo.
Perfect.
Oh, that's adorable.
All right, now are we ready for the big reveal?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Something just happened outside. I don't know if you heard it, but Dumpster. Oh, I was gonna say a daytime firework, but okay. I'm good to close this though, right? Because we're done with this for now. And so we're gonna close that. Do you want me to go here? I'm guessing.
I want you to go to Haughòf.
You want me to go? Oh, because we did the font. You did the font. I like how I did we. I'm so quick to put myself right there when David, as you have all seen, really did all the font work, and as you can probably guess, behind the scenes also did all the font work, and so yeah, this is exciting.
That's the only thing that's written in there at the moment, so you can go back to the top. But
so all I did was highlight the fact that nothing else is done. You're welcome.
Yeah, but and I also legitimately do not remember if this is spelled right because I can't remember how we agreed to do it. I need to go back and look. But
there we go.
What was that? Oh. Yeah, but that is how the font looks. I did a quick and dirty kern. I think I'm going to need to go back and fix it because I already don't like the spacing between the, technically 3rd and 4th characters. There are only 4 characters there. But it does look very good, I think. So we're going to start adding it and seeing how it works, and then maybe go to do more kerning. We don't have numbers yet, so really sorry to hear about Ragdoll's cat. It's always sad when any cat leaves us, but the nice thing is to know that the cat was loved, and so our thoughts to you and Jemima and your family. Poor thing. All right. Why don't you look at the other document for like what words we need, because I know we need a word for the land of it. I'm going to go and revisit my notes here and see if maybe I can drum up some information about how things are spelled, because I don't remember.
We would never forget such a thing. So our first order of business is to name the kingdom. I heard some chatter. Well, here is the wrong verb. Saw some chatter on Discord where people were suggesting that perhaps the kingdom name for the dogs needs to just be like super short, since we've got a lot of 4-syllable words for kingdom names, and then the possum is only 2 syllables, but it shoves just as many consonants into those 2 syllables as the other languages do in 4. And so it's still kind of a heavy thing. And in fact, when you see like Knangsor typed out, like it's literally almost as long as everything else. It's barely even shorter than the mouse name, which is just kind of ridiculously long and delightful. And so I have seen people suggest that maybe we need to try to like some like really short thing, but at the same time, as fun as that is, we need to make sure it makes sense and make sure that what we end up doing is something that we like.
I want to highlight Patrick's comment. Dirty Kern sounds like something you'd shoot a man for in a post-apocalypse cyber west.
And this is...
I think it sounds about right.
Yes. Yeah, this was part of the issue of what had happened when David lost an hour and thought it was time to stream when really we had an hour left before streaming. Because he was in the middle of kerning and he discovered something he wasn't a fan of, but thought that he was so far out of time that like we had to get the font downloaded and installed right then. And so he built the font, he, put it on the computer and then realized he had an hour. And so I know he's incredibly unhappy anytime he has to leave something like that undone and move away from it. So
I think so. If we go back to just the first page of the Haughòf document, what I have here is I have H. That's the character for A, the double one. So that's H. That's the character for A. If you go to the next one, that's UGH. And then we have OF. So the OF is correct. It's the diphthong that I think is wrong. I think that we created...
I thought we had an ow.
Like, I think we did all those, and I just forgot about them. I need to go to the poll results to confirm. I also am very curious about these sound changes, because that doesn't look right. Like, none of those look right. Can we go to that table, just the sound change table with the vowel sequences?
That would be down. Whoop, below. Oh, no, that's above right. That. Well.
No. Yeah, go down. There it is.
It should be AU. I think you just started kind of writing not
what
as...
was I... Like...
Well, none of those are right, because should be
EU is right. So it's like...
It's just the A row is wrong.
Yeah, that's wrong. Huh.
No. You were doing it by spelling, babe, because we don't actually have a schwa. We were using the A character as the schwa.
Yeah.
I think you were doing it by spelling.
Even so, that's still wrong.
No, that one, yeah, for sure. But, like, I think that's what happened with why you don't have a single schwa in your chart.
Yeah, so...
we'll see.
But, yeah, it's... If anybody remembers... It's this poll where you would have seen that image. That's the poll we need to go back to figure out what went wrong. So I'm going to attempt to do that now. They've revamped the functionality, the UI of the Patreon website, and it's utterly baffling. And the mobile app is just unusable.
Yeah, we've been struggling with that. Um, awesome. Was there anything else you wanted me to check in this document?
No, like this was really important because I wanted to make sure that like we didn't make some huge mistake with the words that we already created. But no, we're fine. It's
Okay.
it's this stuff that needs to be fixed. So I think maybe start talking about some of the vocabulary that we need.
Well, I mean, first and foremost was the kingdom name,
Yeah.
because we want to be able to label it as something. And so ideas, semantic ideas that we can relate to that. We do have a dog tank, which
Yeah.
when you're ready to move on to it, I'll get star ratings from you and everything. But we may want to wait on the tank vocabulary because, like the possum tank, we may end up wanting the word to be borrowed from Okuthishu, since the mice are the tank makers, and so the dog language may not have a native word that they use for tank, and so we'll probably end up waiting on that one. We do have a single dog rogue, and so again, like when we're ready, I'll pull star ratings from David for those. Oops, I'm gonna put this down so that way I can.
I will tell you this. So I was actually thinking that the dogs might have constructed their own tank.
Oh, well, then maybe we will need one.
They don't have as close a relationship to the mice as either the rabbits or the opossums. So it'd be I was thinking that it would be the type of thing where they would have constructed it on their own, having seen them. And then for the land, I had referred to them before as the confederated dog clans. In other words, acknowledging that there were original dog clans and that they now have something of a confederation, where the leadership of each clan has equal representation. And so if there's anybody that has ideas for that, by all means. And then I found the poll, and the results are actually in contention. Okay, 2/3 of 12 is...
As David does that, we also have 2 soldiers and 3 warriors and 1 archer. So this is a language where we're going to need a lot of vocabulary outside of the bards. I think, everything else we're going to have kind of one of everything. And maybe we will hit
50-50. They both get
the tank-related vocabulary. So that is all the vocabulary that we're going to be needing at some point very soon. Oh, Bubba.
Okay.
Oh, Jake, that would be kind of adorable.
All right.
Yeah. A dog trying to get into a little mouse costume.
Incidentally, I had a very strong notion that, as we've separated the dog clans into the 7 herding, hunting, the gun dogs, hounds, terriers, mastiff, huskies, and toy dogs. I really felt like it would be the toy dogs that would be piloting the tanks. And does a schnauzer count as a toy dog?
That's an interesting question. In my point of view, I think they should, just because they're so small, and anything small to me reads toy dog. But they may actually also be work dogs, quite by weirdness.
Well done, Magpie. Know. Well done.
Magpie says yes, though.
But yeah, in particular, I really had a strong vision of a little black schnauzer dog, piloting a great big, mech suit that was also kind of jankily constructed.
I like it.
Yeah. Anyway, so just to kind of put a pin on this, in case you're curious, revisiting this poll where we were deciding what to do with the vowel sequences, B1, the middle one. And so that is not something that I have finished yet. And then there was also an addition to where there was already a stick in front of it. Then you kind of do that with this stick there. So yeah, that's just going to be new work, but it's not going to be difficult work. And it's also not going to change current. It's not going to be very difficult because what I'm going to do, these will be a thing. Those will have to be new glyphs, but they'll be easy. It's copy and paste work. But otherwise, if you go to the top page of the Haughòf document, and I just want to show you what would happen. So this is spelled right now H-A, and that's A, and then this one is U-G-H.
Oh, can't do that.
The whole thing is U-G-H, and that the whole thing is O-F. What's going to happen is that I'm going to create a ligature that changes A into just a small little stick in front of like a class of characters, essentially. And so I'll just need to create like 3-4 glyphs. It's going to be copy and paste work, and then I'll paste those into the compound documents, the compound glyphs. So yeah, easily done, but it is work. Okay, now we can get to the actual language stuff.
We had we had come up with a very complex plurality system, if you recall, where there are old forms and then there were forms that kind of became less canonical, but like used. So it's like, for instance, the dual is not something that necessarily has to be straight up used, but like you can if there are two. Same with the pockle and so on. So I was wondering if what you think about having the collective with a root meaning dog, but have it from a different dialect of dog. We already have Haughòf, which is from 2 different dogs.
Right.
And so, I mean, we could reuse one of those roots in this same idea, but have the kingdom name be collective of dogs, and go from there, if you like that idea.
I like it semantically. I don't like it culturally. This is why. Whatever term that is going to come from some, original dog, which is going to kind of potentially elevate them above the others, even if at some point in time it loses its meaning. Originally, it would have been recognized as one word for a dog. It would make sense if there was some distant connection between the human world and this world, so they remembered, like, the English word dog, for example, since they're in Canada, and that could have held over, but I don't. There should be no memory. What if instead we create a word for clan and we use that?
By itself or a collective of clans?
No, with the collective.
Okay. I like that. My other idea I was going to...
Federation.
The other thing I was going to toss out was that we could have like a root that
Dogs,
means...
Jake. Sorry.
That means like being, like animal, living thing, and it could be the collection of that, and in their minds, like, that is their kingdom. It just happens to only be dogs that or joining. But I like your idea better.
Okay.
And I don't think I'm gonna search and make sure we didn't already. I think we only have clan once in the document, and it's right there. And so where's the modern ones? Okay. Excuse me.
I like this too because hey was the old plural.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the new plural. And, what better way to kind of signify the change by, now it's going to be, the, it's going to be used in the name. I like this.
It also gives us the opportunity to figure out how we want it to sound, knowing that we're going to get the sound changes.
Yeah.
Triggered.
So this is going to be hey. The first word is going to be hey, and it's going to trigger nasal mutation. So maybe we can pull up that table. The big, that one. And so it is the final column that we're going to be looking at. So the word is going to start with one of these things.
I'm going to go back over here. Nothing starts with an H yet, which is good. And so it'll be hey something.
Let's go back to that again real quick. So we want to stay away from T and K.
Yeah.
Which shouldn't be too hard with this column.
Like, I think it'd be nice to get, like, D or M or N. I think those would set it off.
No, indeed, Arias. And I totally get it. Semantically, this idea is so cool, though. It would be cool to have like a monosyllabic word, but I really like this.
I mean, we could presumably.
Let's here. I'm gonna pull up Lexergy. A little random thing is I'm pulling this up on my Tumblr. I have listed the top 10 Fiat Lingua articles for the year, and so those not just articles from this year, but any article on the Fiat Lingua website. They're visited a number of times, and so I've listed which ones were visited the most this year. There actually was quite a representation from 2023. I think we had a really good year. Last year there weren't as many from 2022, for example.
Nice.
But yeah, Jessie has two. Well, she had two Fiat Lingua articles this year, and both of them are in the top 10.
Oh.
Yep. All right. So,
did you want me to also pull Lexergy up on mine? Since that's what our lovely streaming audience can see. I say that, but then this may take a moment depending on how my computer is feeling.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay, and then is that hum?
No, I think it's HEM.
Okay. And does this actually work?
Yeah, so Hembach. No, and there's no M, so it'd be Hebach. I think it's a little bit too close to.
It's too close to an English word that we use for dogs anyway.
Yeah.
Which is sad because it's really sad that sometimes you got to think about certain connotations that may trigger for people. But yeah.
There's no proto-I.
Okay, so I know
We can get a P if it's a proto F or a bilabial fricative.
Okay, well, there's no way to get a Z. Okay. Just checking my options here. How did we get?
Wait, what do you mean it's taken?
Okay, so how do we trigger?
It could be Haughòf. The protoform would be phi alpha tau.
Oh, Arias is pointing out it was used literally in Thupatata.
Oh my gosh, you're right. Duh. Sorry.
And
Don't want to use rec. We have Romo. Remember.
Trying to remember all the sounds we have here. Does anything happen? Ooh. Himlu would become Hengu. Hedal. Hedel. Do you like any of those?
No. If we were to spell it as two different words, it might be a little complicated for people to pronounce, but it's honestly kind of cool.
The Hengu.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, everybody remember, like, you have to put the nasals in there so to make this work, but they're all going to disappear. So it's going to be hey, you know, Hengu. Oh wait, no. That you do have to put the nasal in, otherwise.
Oh my gosh, no, I thought I did. Sorry, I was looking at the other screen. And then oh wait, how did I do this? I remember how I did it. There we go. Goodness, I've got like the NY may be easier to pronounce, but I don't think we want to do anything that's going to require a dot underneath for the name.
Yeah, Henyot.
However, if we just did a D, Henyut.
Henyut. But yeah, it is licit. So don't worry about that. Like it wouldn't show up in Lexergy if it wasn't licit. Like Henyum.
Okay, so
far I like Hengao, Hengu, Henyum. I like those.
ooh, Hemal.
Himal. That'll be spelled funny.
I mean, we could also just AO become
Himal.
the same. Okay. Okay, there we go.
Himal.
And then what if we reverse that? Well, okay. Well, hang out does sound like hang out.
Yeah.
That's kind of cute, actually. Because that's what dogs do. They hang out.
I really like that. I'm going to start making a poll.
Okay. of your favorites. Make sure we're
Yeah.
still streaming. Oh,
By the way,
goodness.
I'm going to assume that thing, that hang up at the beginning, I'm going to assume it was my fault. I must have done something over here. How is it showing this much of my body? Where's my laptop? Why is it
Because the camera is pointing down.
weird? Okay, what shall the name of our kingdom?
Do you ever just suddenly get like walloped by the urge to take a nap? Like my brain just absolutely just hit a nap wall, and it's like I'm so ready to go to sleep right now. You know what that means? That means we got to make this decision so I can type it in so
Later,
we can
bub.
celebrate with a Kopiko, which has a tiny amount of caffeine in it.
Yeah.
Glad you were here, Bubba, until you had to go. Enjoy your dinner.
Mm. It's 2:51 p.m. prime napping time.
And Miles, I am sending you lots and lots of hugs from a distance. It's almost
Wow.
3 here in California, Jake. I feel the shade being thrown. But yeah.
All right, this is what I want.
Oh, bye, tincture.
I want, since we have Maul, I want to say Hengu, and then I want to get a different one that sounds very different.
Okay. Comes up as that. Okay. We could actually just get him, because then the M would stay. Himoch.
Would it? Because I don't think it would.
In the chart below, or in the examples rather of the plurals, the M stays for himalo.
It does.
The other thing is I do need to double check the document.
It does. Okay.
While you're considering that, although that would end up ending in a TY and people are going to pronounce it Odi,
Himodi!
which is fun for my family, but maybe not for everybody else. Okay. What were the protoforms that you ended up using? So that way I can make sure we haven't used them.
I don't know. Go back to Lexergy.
I can only have so many things open and visible with this staying visible on the screen.
But I mean, these, BAUL and
Okay.
then
Well, let me search that one first.
DEOM.
And I bet we used. Do we have any?
Why don't you let me do this? I haven't got the responsibility of the
Okay.
thing there.
So.
Wow, we have not used regular B followed by at all.
No, and so that one is definitely available.
Mm-hmm. And then Deum, I'm gonna say 100% is available.
We don't have any in the dictionary.
Yeah, we're fine.
Okay.
And then Lu, that was what it was. LU.
Oh, and
Yep, we're fine.
Okay.
Did we have a preposition Lu, or was that a different language? Oh,
I think that was Ingala.
Yep. All right.
Um,
Okay, so a fourth one, something different.
And because of the nasalization effect, a lot of very different things is they're coming out kind of similar. We could try to get
No, I know what we need. We need something that's starting with GHW.
GHW?
Roi.
Oh, no. So we need the protoform. That's the. Did we just have R or do we need capital R?
Upside down R.
Oh, I don't know how to do that.
I'll just copy it from over here. Scroll down. No, yeah. And then the superscript W.
Just going to put an A there. So it'll come out gua.
That's right. So
it doesn't take the nasalization. It doesn't become wa.
It does. It goes from ra to ga.
Okay. I just thought there was. And so that's this one. Gua. Okay. What do you like behind that
That is
gua?
a pharmaceutical, Miles. I know my pharmaceuticals. So I don't know. Hey, guac. No.
Oh, wait. M. There is no N.
Yeah.
Oh.
So help me you with your fuemu gamu. Fuemu guemu. No.
But did you see how excited I looked?
I did. It was really
Okay.
cute.
Igual. Hey.
Try that. L.
L.
Yeah. So that's going to be higuel. Higuel. With 2 accent marks. No, I don't like that.
Well, we could just have EL, which will come out as guel. Higuel.
Yeah. Try. So keep that around. I want you to replace. Yeah, do that, but replace the M with a va.
Oh, like that.
Yeah.
Higuel.
Oh. That's funny. Wait.
Oh, I'm keeping them all so that way you can see them. So I'm not taking them away from you. I was just saying.
Yeah,
Guev.
that comes
Okay,
out
that
as
was
guev.
guev.
But I was hoping for I. How do we get that?
Eve? You want Eve?
A, E, V. Excuse me.
A. No, wait. We already did that.
I mean in the modern. How do we get I in the modern? You got it with wow. For some reason. By the way, how gual becomes guaya. Gual.
A-O.
Oh no, wait, no, that's wrong. Sorry. Nope. Wrong.
So you don't want.
I want I in the modern. That sound.
I have no idea. Sorry, if people are telling me what to do. We need A-E,
Yeah.
but
Why isn't it working?
nothing is coming out that way.
I think
Maybe it's the consonant.
It's the consonant.
So hingwai. He guai.
Why is the V stopping it? Can we trace the of that one?
This one?
Yeah.
And this was
Yeah, that one.
Dognification returns.
Oh, okay, I'll look that up. We only have dognifications part the first, second, third, and fourth.
Well,
It's not that one. Oh, here we go. The diphthong I becomes A before consonants.
Yeah, right here.
In the case of the genitive preposition. Oh. Well, I guess then what I want is not possible.
But you could get guai if you just want guai.
Yes.
No consonant.
Okay, so let me think about these. Higual, Higuel, Higuev, Higuai, Higuav. Guav seems to be okay. That doesn't become Guove, but Guover. Higuave.
We're being accused of ignoring the chat for now. I have seen things about Twin Peaks. I have seen things about Twinks. I have not seen...
Oh, Twink Pinks.
I don't think I have missed anything.
That lot hasn't been interesting enough for us to pay attention.
No, but I don't think I've missed anything dealing with this word creation. So I just want to point that out. Like,
Ooh.
I see it, but I'm also trying not to get
Look at that.
distracted. Please throw it away. Like
Oh, sorry. I almost had a little crash.
Anyway.
Okay. All right. All right. So I kind of like a lot of these. I like Higuel. I like Higuev. I like Higuave. And I like Higuai.
Are you feeling them so strongly that that should be the poll? Take away all the other options?
I'm thinking about taking away at least some options.
I say go for it. You know what? That's too much like maul, and our dogs don't need to be associated with mauling.
Okay, you're right.
No, I'm too much of a dog fan.
Higuai and then Higuev.
I like the Gwev.
I like
If
the
you care.
And I like the Guel.
Oh, Guel is nice too. Higuel. Oh, that kind of sounds like a nice, I don't know, Noel. Higuel. Like it's got a nice, cozy feeling about it.
It does. What do we think about how it looks?
I like the Guel better.
All right, here we go. Excitement time.
Now, did you say which do you prefer so we can always override it if we don't like what the ending result is?
I always prefer Bibleridian's choice.
So if Bibleridian, oh wait, is Bib Trout? No, I don't remember if Bib is going to be able to join today. Patrick has requested to say them out loud. This one is the one that you should.
No, I'm sorry.
The one you should vote for
absolutely.
is Higuel.
Okay, no. I'm sorry. I wrote these in the romanization. I didn't put them in IPA. So this is Higuel. I'm sorry, Higuel, because it's Higuel, right? Hengu, Higuai, Henum.
And that is Jonathan says, hey, Newm is where the dogs get the zoomies.
And it is...
Thinking about it...
That H is a he, but it doesn't matter. It's the same for all of them. You're really looking at the second word.
But also, Higuai is pretty too, Higuai.
Yeah.
Also, though, just thinking of it from how English speakers are going to pronounce it anyway, it's going to be Higuel, Ngu, Higuai, or Higuai, and Henyum. Henyum. That's probably how people will say it when they look at it.
But what have Bibleridians?
I momentarily, Jake, went, oh my god, it's Pride Month? And then realized it's not June. But it's always Pride Month in LTS. So
that's right.
It doesn't matter what month the calendar says. Happy Pride Month.
Be here and be proud. Ooh.
Oh, I should move the mouse. It's probably right over the chat. Wouldn't the plural of Bibleridians be Bay Bibleridia?
Yeah, of course. Saying Bibleridians, I think of that as kind of like a Moomin plural. because when they're translated into English, they are all these really silly names of things, and they're often pluralized, just in the standard English way.
Oh, Mateus,
Are you in Budapest?
Yeah, remember we had that conversation. We were very excited about Mateus going to Budapest because we had liked it, but apparently it's not always so friendly.
Oh, well, they're
I'm so sorry.
their leader right now is a right-wing dictator, and basically, like, I don't even like. There's, like, for example, they're just I think the latest thing was they were talking about adding adding Ukraine and Moldova to the EU.
Someone like attacked him already.
Oh,
Like,
jeez.
that makes well. I mean, I'm glad to hear. I'm glad to hear it's not serious and that you're hopefully physically okay. But like I am so sorry.
Yeah.
So sorry to hear that. But
All right, I think we have our winner.
But we can be excited here in LTSdom for Higuel. And I'm going to type it proudly here. And let me know if I actually type that. It's that one, right?
Yes.
Okay. Patrick. Oh, man. I feel like that would be my only ability to be a bodyguard would be like, well, I can't run as fast as you, so they'll take me down first.
We have a bunch of recommendations for Budapest, by the way. Like, have you been to Gelato Rosa yet? And I know that like tons of us have different proclivities when it comes to.
Wait, no, Mateus doesn't like ice cream.
Mateus doesn't like ice cream? I was trying to remember.
Yeah, no, Mateus does, and was a just outright lovely, willing to go along with us cheerleader for every single ice cream place we hit up in DC, because David and I literally drug the entire crowd of LTS people to pretty much every ice cream shop along the way. We ice creamed our way through the weekend, and Mateus was like, yeah.
I remembered something about that. I mean, like, one of the whole reasons that we have a Newly Teased channel in Discord is because we talk about food so much on this language stream. And so, everybody's food, like, both sensitivities and proclivities have come out at one point in time or another. So it's like, of course, like, the number one thing we all remember about McCain, Mateus, is that he doesn't like coffee.
Yes, also does not like coffee.
I did have a vague recollection that you didn't like ice cream. I wasn't confident about it. We do have just restaurant recommendations.
Otter, yes, I agree. If you study language, you end up becoming a foodie one way or another.
This is true.
Alice is allergic to coffee.
Huh.
What a thing to be allergic to. Now, luckily, I don't think it shows up in things too randomly. There may be some like chocolates and things that just kind of have coffee for flavoring. And so that's something you can probably more easily avoid than other things. But like, how interesting. It's always, wow, all the things the human body can be allergic to.
By the way...
and Mateus will take restaurant recommendations, which we should drop in Discord whenever we can look back on.
Yeah, give us a like your general proclivities, like what types of things you enjoy, because not only do we have restaurant recommendations, but I actually have screenshots of maps because I made like a whole list for us while we were in Budapest.
We did.
All right, cheers.
Cheers. Oh, and there was that one place we had to go up the hill to, and it was quite a bigger walk than we had expected.
Oh, yeah.
But Mateus will love it because Mateus is a walker.
And we got one recommendation that we couldn't do. John Q gave it to us, and we arrived too late. They said that they could seat us for dessert, but that their main kitchen was closed for dinner. But the thing is, we hadn't eaten dinner, and we just walked a long way. We really need something. Cheers. And so we went to Robinson instead, which was good.
Which actually surprised us. We thought... We weren't expecting much. It was just that it was a restaurant that was still open.
Copico, when you need it so badly that you forget to say the slogan.
That one. Yeah, Mateus, we walked everywhere in Budapest. I think, like, our fitness meters, our phones, logged our steps, and they were off the charts every single day. Walked everywhere, and one day we walked everywhere twice by accident because we got lost and walked in a giant circle.
Hmm.
But
Oh,
but yeah, it was really amazing.
Alice is not allergic to coffee, but to caffeine. But I can understand also not generally enjoying it.
And also, the hard part is that decaf coffee usually still has caffeine in it, just less than the counterpart enough. So, like, it just has to have a certain amount less than a line for it to be able to be marketed as decaf. But yeah, that could be something you don't want to play with if you already know that it's not.
Anyway, Jake needs to be thrown out of the stream. How dare you? How dare you speak truth to power? Jake says, Kopiko, when you make one word or so in about an hour. Yeah, that's what we've done. All right. But look, we've done it.
We need to actually put that root in somewhere. This is going to be clan. Do you want to actually make an entry for it?
Yeah. But I'm kind of like more excited about putting Higwell in my spreadsheet.
Oh, as you should be. I am going to see if I can remember how to make entries. Good. Hey, babe.
Yeah.
Babe.
What? No. It's different.
Okay.
It starts with a ra.
Thank you. Is it going to follow the same? No, it's not going to.
Very similar to bush shrub, but it's
let me
crucially
copy
different.
that one.
Yeah.
Okay. Gosh, I just momentarily was like, oh my gosh. Okay. In its normal form, it's going to be Joel. Right?
Yes.
And then this one should be Guel.
Right.
This was the document I think I was like, oh, I totally get how to do these entries. And later you went through and were like, yeah, you messed everything up.
The proto form is just a regular E.
Regular E, okay. So I really want you to make sure that this is, that's correct.
Oh, that's good that you like the hot chocolates. That's always nice. Ha! Ragdoll says, in Australia there's a gay bar called the Mars Bar. Like that.
Okay, but are you approving this entry?
Yep. And in fact, here,
you ready?
Let's do it. Okay, so right here, go ahead and spell GHWEL, and then you can do the same thing there, just GHWEL, and then just change the font.
There it is. Ah!
Woohoo!
And now you can, see if it's correct. Oh my goodness.
Oh, brother. Which one, Jesse Gerard?
I totally didn't see who commented that, and I was like, you're asking me which one? I don't know which one. And then realized that Jesse was posting that.
And then, of course, like all the reblogs are going to have the wrong link. Gosh darn it.
Number 9.
Really?
Oh, Magpie. Celiac is like, you may not
Gosh darn it.
classify that as an allergy, but at the same time, that sure is like your body reacts like it's allergic, so that is still something you got to be really, really careful about. Yeah, no, it is not fun at all. Okay, David's fixing that now.
I'm so annoyed by that. And of course, you get most of the reblogs like
right away.
Yeah.
Oh, the colors look amazing.
You like that? All right. Thanks very much for letting me know. Okay.
Oh, thank you, Jessie. I'm glad you enjoyed reading it, and sorry for how it how your own journey may reflect pieces of it, because it is a journey. Whoop. I was gonna get this back on the IPA chart there.
All right.
Okay.
Let's go to our other document.
My eyes just did something funny. The RDS comment here, to my eyes, suddenly looked smaller than Jake's comment below it. Like, that's just my eyes doing something funny, right? Like, sometimes I swear.
Yep.
Okay. That's what I thought. And also, it was not Jake's comment. It was Mateus's comment right below it.
Yep. I know.
Do you remember me saying I need a nap?
Nope. I'm kidding too. Poor thing. All right. Scroll up.
We need, oh my gosh, can we just take a moment?
Mm-hmm.
I get all we've done is made one word. Thanks, Jake. But, oh my gosh. That is so exciting. It is very exciting. Can you keep that spreadsheet open and tell me the star rankings?
Yeah.
Starting with Tank, just because I'm here.
2.
Okay. And then Rogue.
3.
Yeah. Mateus, he does have a certain grin that gets him out of trouble with me. So very slippery indeed. Warrior times 3. What are the rankings?
2, 4, and 5.
Okay, so I'll put the 5 first. No, wait, I think I built up in the other documents, so I'll do that. Soldier, we've got 2.
1 and 5.
Archer.
4.
So where do you want to start? What's grabbing you? I don't think we have any vocabulary to support any of them. I think we had started doing some things here. We came up with words for singer, which doesn't help us at all. We do have a word for to throw that we've not yet entered, but we do have it.
Go to the derivation chart in the main Haughòf document. Oh, go to the verbal derivation chart. Okay, what does this mean? Where does that come from? It was what we used for Jessie. It has a T.
I think to lead. Yeah, there we go. Dog. The Jess part, I think, is to lead, and then put together Jessie, I think, means Labrador.
Okay, this is what I want. So that is used as an agentive suffix for verbs. I want to take another, and by the way, how did we screw this up with the old word for terrier being tear?
It was because I wanted to make Jessie an actual name in this.
Yeah.
This was literally the way the ending had to be shaped. I don't know why or how. I don't know why or how we chose the terrier variant.
So this is what I want. We've used that as a suffix for deriving agentive nouns from verbs. I want to have a different dog word. And this one's going to be used with nouns, and it means an animate noun associated with the noun in question. So let's come up with a different dog word. So we have Bram, we have Ter, what other, we have a Chihuahua. What other dogs do we have thus far?
I don't know that we do have a word for Chihuahua. Oh, we do. We
Why?
Chihuahuas. Why? Why?
And why was the older term? Where isn't this? Oh, there we go. And then we have Mastiff, which is another. That one survived.
Okay.
We should have some way to mark these that it was an older dog term.
We don't have a husky.
Husky, okay. That I feel like those dogs are big enough that that term should be used for something else.
A Saint Bernard, who
Same
would
thing.
likely. How about
So
we don't have any shepherd words, and there are a group of shepherds: the German Shepherd, the Australian Shepherd, and they do things, and they make other things do things.
I think that's a really good idea. We're going to need some dog help. How many shepherd dogs are there, and how related are they? I know they're all going to belong to the same clan.
Well, I know that the Australian Shepherd is the one that they so badly want to do jobs and do things that like they literally will just carry things around for you. Like, have you seen Ruger get the mail for Janet?
No.
Carrying his little mailbox. Literally, he has a little box that he carries in his mouth and runs to the mailbox, and then she puts the mail in it and he runs back home with it.
Oh.
Okay, so like because Patrick was asking what dogs would be most likely to use tools and things like
Yeah.
that, and it's like they literally always want to be doing things. Like they want to
Okay.
be bringing things from one location to the next. They want to be like herding things. They get so excited about getting sheep to go in the direction they're supposed to be going. There are so many videos online that you can watch where they're adorable and talk about getting the zoomies. They need to run. They need to like do things.
All right. There's only one thing that I want us to keep in mind, which is each of the dog clans do need names, and so working dogs are going to need names as well. But
Oh, Arias has to go. Bye.
Barrios.
I love it.
Let's see. I want like a list of them. A list of
Shepherding dogs?
shepherding dogs. I've got herding dogs and work dogs.
Representative species. Here you go, babe.
That's just too many. Like a poodle is a herding dog? A Welsh corgi? I don't think so.
No. Some of these just belong to a breed that were developed for herding, and some of these are offshoots of those breeds, and so they're not still dogs that do herding.
Yeah, I found what Patrick has found.
Ooh, poodles were
sheepdogs
bred to
article.
retrieve hunted fowl from water.
So we have Australian Shepherd, there it is.
I'm still going to leave this pulled up just
Belgian
because look at all these
Shepherds.
cute dogs.
Yeah. Collies,
Yeah.
Croatian Sheepdog, German Shepherd, Dutch, English, Finnish Laphund. Wow. German Shepherd. Oh my goodness, Welsh Corgis are indeed. Wow. Those little guys. That's super cute.
So you didn't believe my list, but now you do. I'm glad. Yeah, I'm throwing a little something at you.
This is
Mine is a picture list.
I think that since collies have kind of like an indented list below them, I think we should have a generic word for collie, and that should be our term. And then shepherd, that one's like should be the main class. I feel like the name of the clan should come from, like the Australian Shepherd and the German Shepherd and things like that.
Which look really different, so it's very interesting that
I know. And
the English Shepherd looks like the Australian Shepherd. So they're very similar. You can see that
yeah,
those similarities. But the German Shepherd, I swear, is just like, it is a dog that I think stands out and looks very much its own. I guess it kind of actually looks most like this than anything else on the list. The Belgian Tervuren, which I had never seen until now, but looks like a beautiful lion of a dog. I mean, that is a gorgeous animal.
Stumpy Tail Cattle Dog. That's a cute name. All right, so let us.
Where do you see that?
I
I looked at chat immediately because I thought it was fake. Was
down.
it down?
There he is, Stumpy Tail Cattle Dog.
Oh my goodness. That is too funny. Okay.
All right, let's come up with a word for collie with, and let's bear in mind that this is going to become a suffix.
And so, and there is no way to get lassie, so don't even try. Now I'm super curious to see what our mail holds in store for us. Nothing for us, just for the person who moved out of here 3 years ago. All right. Back to IPA chart. That's what I'm doing. I got a little bit sidetracked that corgis are associated with the royalty in England, and I started looking at that. And I'm just going to check. We did not come up with anything for collies, right? No, okay, we're good. I'm not going to say that we would never do such a thing, but I just want to double check that we hadn't already.
Yeah.
What's making you feel collie-ish?
B or a G, to be honest, or D. D is going to end up becoming a Z for certain words. B is going to end up becoming a V.
Oh,
G is going to become a R. But we can do B. Nothing's going to happen to M.
What about K? Okay. K is not the best ending because I realized I just
Bell. Bell. There. There. Kind of like that.
Trying to just come up with some options for you to think about.
I don't think you need any more. I kind of like.
B.
Yeah, I kind of do.
Okay, and I feel like we did not have a lot of B protoforms in the first place. Oh, we do have B, but this would be EOL, and I don't see it here. I can double check. Oh, we don't have any. Oh, wait.
Yeah, and it's going to be.
Whoops, I don't think I can do that. Ooh, I can. Ooh.
Yeah.
Not found. Excellent. So we are safe on the protoform.
Yeah, I like this. Here, I'm going to.
And oh, are you copying that one?
Yeah.
I forgot to add one to the G entry. I'm going to add that now. You didn't do it, right?
No.
Okay. Whew. I'm going to add one to the B entry for you.
Thank you.
Kinda forgot what I was supposed to be doing.
Okay, this is dog, and then I'm gonna.
Oh, Anime Fan was saying that breeds were made up in the last 100 years, which doesn't really surprise me all that much because I feel like a lot of the different breeds, like they're getting more and more, we're getting more of them because people are just messing with genetics.
Yeah.
Are you thinking?
I'm trying to. There we go.
And as a reminder, all of this is hopefully by way of creating a new derivation that we can use. Yeah, Patrick, you're right. Like the different kinds of dogs existed, but maybe not all of them that we have now, but there were a lot of different kinds of dogs, but like people weren't caring about it in the way that dogs have papers now, which is very interesting.
And so this is.
It was fringilized EOL with the small cap L.
And this is.
And it comes out as A schwa L. Bale. Did you I can't see, did you put the dot below the B?
No. Oh.
Right, there's the V does not need the dot, right?
Yes, it does.
It does? Okay. And you got the M.
This isn't working.
What?
How does it
Do the God, what is this key on your keyboard? Now I get
I know
confused.
which one.
And then do period and then type your letter.
It's not working.
Shouldn't it be the option key? Option period?
Yeah, it's like it's just not working.
Did you not download my newest installment of the font that
No,
I
like
did for all the dots?
The thing is, I did that one.
No, I did the B. You did the M.
And I did the M successfully, right?
Yeah. Like I feel like I don't see you pressing the keys that I thought should be pressed. Like what did you press there?
I'm sorry, that I did the wrong thing. Am I not? Like, am I going crazy? Like, look, M.
No, not the M.
I'm sorry. Like,
hit the period. I hit that button and hit the period at the same time. It's like instead of control, there we go. Now hit the whatever letter.
Oh.
That was a very exciting moment of listening to us discuss how to get a keystroke combination.
I see what I was doing wrong. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. Okay, so this should be B.
You know what, Jake? We did more than just getting around to it. We actually made a couple rabbit names. It's just we never got around to naming any other animals.
And that will eventually have to be changed because the E is going to look different, but
Yay!
Whoa, Bibleridian, oh my gosh.
Yeah, Bib is here. Dropping. There's a running joke now that the same fact has been dropped like 3 times in this stream.
That Bibleridian is here?
No, what Bibleridian was talking about, the Theos, Deus, and Teot.
Did you realize
none of them are related?
Did you realize that Deus and Theos are actually unrelated? even though they mean the same thing?
I actually think they were siblings, and so I think they're wrong
Oh.
in that regard. Now, mind you, the words came from totally different sources, but they came from the same parents.
All right, then.
As, you know, not linguistically, just genetically.
Okay, so now back to this.
I'm
now,
dropping the good stuff here.
now we can do our suffix.
Oh my God, Miles is asking, where is the 24-hour name creation stream for charity? Could you imagine if we had to stream for 24 hours?
Oh, I would love it.
Could you imagine if I had to stream for 24 hours?
You'd learn to love it.
I would not make it. Like, there are definitely days like today where I'm like, 2 hours feels like too much. Because if I didn't say it loud enough already, I need a nap, and it hit me hard when I needed one. I know, right, Miles? I would need your caffeine trick, and I would just need to caffeinate and be part frenzied and part grumpy and part like happy. And yeah, Magpie, you're right. Quote and quote are unrelated, which is really fun. Well, Patrick, that would be the smart thing to do, but David would want to keep streaming for all 24 hours. Aardvark, Magpie points out that even though quote and quote are unrelated historically, aardvark and porcelain are. I love it.
What?
I don't know, I gotta look it up. I'm gonna go to Wiktionary here in a second.
The thing is, aardvark is a compound.
Yeah, I would not make it for 12 hours.
Does
Bubba.
porcelain come from pork?
Pork, I think so. Okay, so we're looking, whoops! I can spell porcelain. While David's typing very important things. Oh, I don't think I actually did the English entries for what we did. I got so excited about doing the Haughòf entries. I don't think it made it. Oh my gosh. It comes from porco with a diminutive suffix to refer to a mussel or cockle shell used to hold pigments while painting. It's a little pig. And then that became Chinaware based on this shell that was used.
And pigments are just little pigs, right?
I don't think that one actually comes from the same source.
Savings pig.
Is that why our banks are shaped like little pigs? Okay, do you see how my computer is treating me? All I'm trying to do is look up a Wiktionary thing, and it's like, nah. So in a moment, I'm going to go through and close some tabs, because... Oh, nice. You are absolutely right, Patrick. Pigment comes from Latin pingo, which means I paint. Oh my gosh, but it's related to pimento, I think. Look at that. That is exciting. All right, I am going to close that and close Patreon. See if that makes this go faster. I was also going to look up aardvark so everyone could see that etymology, which is literally a little earth pig. However, does varkin actually go back to the same source as pork? Proto. I don't know that this goes back to the same source as pork. They're related semantically. They both come from pig. Where did the Latin come from? Okay, it's cognate with. Interesting. So they actually list the PIE porcos for pork, but they don't do that for the cognate which they only, oh, there we go. Now it does. I had to keep going back. Farjas was where I was before. It didn't take me back to Porcos. But there we go. They are indeed related. Interesting. Well, you know what, Patrick? Getting there first is half the battle. Pink, I think, is an unknown origin still. There is some debate. Yeah, it's uncertain. But one idea is it may come from blink. It may come from an English verb pink from the same source. Or it may come from petals being pinked. And so that one is one of those weird things. Wiktionary is 9/10 of the law. Wiktionary is very handy for trying to look at what languages have done to get ideas. But also, I just reminded myself, I had mentioned to David I had not entered clan on the English side. I don't know if we want to enter the archaic words for dog in our list.
Of what? No.
But I did need to enter clan. Whoops. Oh wait, that should be an H. I got so excited about its one form I forgot. Okay. So David has been working while I've been playing with etymologies. David's been working here.
So I think it's funny, the diminutive and associated animate are almost the same, but like differences. Fringilization.
Very
So,
important. Oh my gosh,
Kovave.
that's why we came up
And-
with Chihuahua.
Kovave. Yeah,
Chihuahua is the diminutive.
it sure is. So this is what I'm looking at right now. I think that usually when a consonant has an effect on the next one, it disappears. And so I think that should actually be brame. Oh. Brame. Ohbe. Ohbe. Brame. That should be we, because it does that before consonant.
And it doesn't matter that it's not a coda.
Weveve. So weveve versus weveve.
Excuse me.
No, I think it just does it before a consonant. And then kovave. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
All right. So we created this because going back to I think I was originally thinking about it as the word for archer, but basically it's just like the animate associated with a bow.
I like it. Yeah, I
So-
don't think we have that.
We don't have a word for bow, but
But we need one. There's our vocabulary list. Yeah, I was just double checking that we didn't have any notes up here.
yeah. Can you go to the what classes we need for dogs?
What? Oh, the other document. Sure, sure. Having to keep this part of the window clear is difficult. I wish our thing would work again.
If you do the what button makes all the things go like that,
The F3.
if you do this, you don't have to ever move any windows. Like they can just stay in one spot.
But I'm trying to make it centered on the screen
Yeah.
and trying not to cover this.
Right.
But when I use this document, I have to pull it over so I can see the thumbnails.
But like, why don't you just?
Because here I can't see thumbnails, and that's how I navigate documents.
You can learn a new skill. Just
Anyway, David wants a word for bow.
was just thinking that it could be like we use that and like they have a standard way of they have a standard way of doing it, so it'd be like essentially like bowman, swordsman, and so on, but with the
Nice.
or so we have bow, sword, warrior, and then I think rogue.
Yeah, we do have a rogue, just no bard, which, yeah. I know, I'm really upset about, and then yeah, tank.
So yeah, if in the last 15 minutes here we want to come up with a word for bow and maybe sword. No, shield.
For the two soldiers, were you thinking of completely different ones, or like an augmentative of one to get to the other?
Either an augmentative or a separate word that meant like, in training or greater, depending on which one is more complex.
Oh, that was a word we want to do.
See,
Also a word we want to do. Okay.
Miles, jewelry
The
house.
augmentative, of course. Oh, happy early birthday.
Ragdoll Jessie does that, and she is quite good with it.
I am quite enjoyful of it. I don't know that I would label it good. Okay, so the reason I had asked was because, well, I guess we can wait. Let's do bow first. But I had some ideas brewing that could give us different words for the two different soldiers. If you ended up wanting them to not have like the same root with, say, an augmentative or something. And so I'm also very cognizant of the fact that every time I do that, the chat disappears for anyone trying to watch it on the screen. Wait, what do you like? We know it's going to have a beh after it. So what are we feeling? Should we just start taking forms for bow, or do you want, what should it be related to as a concept? Should it be semantic extension of a root, or should it be like a compound?
I think we need another derivation. I hate to do that, but I think that we needed an animate derivation that's applied to verbs. It's something that we have.
As in like a patientive kind of inanimate, or like the kind of thing that we use for like stapler, like a thing that staples rather than a person who staples.
Yeah, thing that does it.
Okay. So kind of like a tool.
Yeah. Or like a dog toy. I know
like
I know we used stick for tapahla, but dogs are famous for
sticks. Yeah, I think. And did we have a word for stick? No, that's the only place it shows up. I don't. Okay. I was just trying to think of other words we may have come up with. I think we had a word for ball. But that's a toy thing, not necessarily a to-do thing. And rope is another thing. They like to pull on ropes. So for your inanimate, though, I feel like stick would be the thing that would be used most often to accomplish something else. Which means like thing that blanks, I feel like it could be like, oh, it's like a stick that does this.
Yeah, and if we can make the suffix be significantly different from the modern form, and so I think something that's like CVC, CVVC, where the final C remains, and then it just gets collapsed.
What are the best onset consonants for that collapsing effect that you want? Like a W, a liquid.
What gives us oi?
Whoop. There's that chart. Our charts are usually so much more colorful, and so OE, I think, is the only one.
Okay, so something OE something.
Okay. I'm gonna get rid of these. So we finished that. If we put it, oh wait, if we put a consonant behind it though, it's not going to give us oi.
What's it going to give us?
Oh,
Perfect.
okay, so
Wait.
bulge is one idea.
Oh, put a different consonant next to it. Something that doesn't change. And by the way, there's, yeah, see, that's a wall, but not an L. And it can't be a V because we already have three different suffixes that start with V. One of them is
Okay,
vo.
M will give us oim.
Yes. Okay, so let's see. What have we used so far?
Oh wait, we can't have an S. We could do like a Q. We could get quaim. We could get quaim. These are ones that we haven't used, I don't think. Let's see.
I like Hoim.
I feel like that would be also a sound ripe for being cut out if we're gonna try to get the consonant to drop.
Let's see. And then
I want you to read Jake's comment.
so I also like Heim.
Do you remember the band? I told you about the Three Sisters.
Oh, that's right. Huh.
See? Other people know them.
Yeah, I like this.
Okay.
The suffix is going to surface as o, and it's either going to come out as ko, ro, or ho.
Oh, that's nice. And so, yeah, that's very different from quaim.
I don't think there's a way to get it to palatalize. If we could, I'll look at the other chart. Yeah, it doesn't palatalize. It just goes to that's it.
Okay.
And did you see I tried to help with finding the other chart?
Oh, no. Did you make it colorful? Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Now I forgive you for the rude comment about me having to learn a new working style because you don't like what I'm doing. David's very persnickety sometimes about how other people work differently.
Okay.
So yes, I like that. I like that a lot.
So let's just quickly create the word Hoim for stick like that.
Jake's cheering me on. I'm giving David a taste of his own musical medicine, where you seem to know all these things that you drop and expect me to know. Now I can lorded over you that you didn't know who Haim was, and I did.
I didn't know. The Addle is one of my least favorite inventions of all time. I did get to witness a rather humorous session where actors who were being hired to portray Neanderthals were being trained to use an Addle.
What's an addle?
So like, you know how a bow and arrow, in order to propel it forward, you like use this string and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
it shoots? An Addle is just a stick. And so imagine if you had an arrow and then a stick, and then instead of feathers on the end, it was like a notch, and you just kind of hold it here and then go like that.
So it's like a handheld catapult of sorts? Because you're providing the...
Yeah.
Fascinating.
And it's
Okay.
like, yeah, it seems like it would be better. I don't know. It is a frustrating experience.
It sounds like something I could not do, but you know, that's actually not surprising given where my skills stop when it comes to
I think that is true.
things
though.
like throwing.
Yeah, like they.
Like that you can put in, but you don't have to hold it with the other hand. You just like a lacrosse kind of situation where
Except there's no basket. It's like the Addle is literally just a stick.
Oh no, I get what you're saying,
Yeah.
but they're saying like there are similar things for like throwing balls for dogs and stuff like that, but they usually have something to hold the ball so that way
It makes it a
your
lot
other
easier,
hand.
like a trackball. You know, like you know, we invented a game once that used trackballs where we stood on opposite sides of the streets and we try to score on each other by getting it past, you know, in the driveway. The game unfortunately ended when one of my friends who is really adept at throwing these things very hard, like I was defending and the ball came at me and I had it to stop it and snapped it. It was like, wow, that was that. It's a fun game though.
Wow. That's something I do not share stories from my childhood of playing with friends in the driveway.
That's true. Yeah, I could even
However,
show you.
I have a lot of stories about, you know, playing in the woods that David doesn't have.
I'm really surprised you're alive today.
Bib has a paragraph about ottolotls. A woomera is an Australian spear thrower.
I like how
Love these.
I like how you say it's a paragraph, because I am imagining and indeed hoping that your next video is just going to be scrolling text like the beginning of Star Wars, and then you just read it.
Just everything that had to be cut for time.
Oh no, like that's the whole video. It's just scrolling text and I'm reading it. Or even better than the beginning of Star Wars, which I think is excellently used scrolling text. The worst use of scrolling text I've ever seen, Reefer Madness. So you've heard of this movie, right? It was a Reefer Madness.
I think I have.
Yeah, it was just like a scare movie for, you know, why marijuana is bad and you should avoid it. And so like it's humorous for that, but the beginning has the longest scrolled text I have ever seen, to the point where it's like you almost think it's a parody. Like it's just like keeps going and there's music in the background and there's a scene behind it, but there's no people. And it's like it keeps going for so long that it's funny, and then like you stop laughing and it's still going, and then you start laughing again because it's like, this is ridiculous. Like it's a movie, not a book. What are you doing? Nice. Anyway. Yeah.
Nice Mateus. Yeah.
Slings are also really good.
But I do. So while you're creating this entry, there are a few things I want to point out. The first is that I get that we didn't start apparently actually streaming until 10 after. Yeah. But David and I were streaming for those 10 minutes.
That's true.
And the reason I say that is because it's starting to get on to just turned to 4. And
right.
we do have things to do. and by things to do, I mean outside of streaming and LangTime universe. It's actual things. So there are some things I want to say as David's doing this. I want to do some short announcements here. The first is that someone had asked last week if there would be any interruptions, and there will not be any planned interruptions during the holiday season of our Thursday live streams. I always have to leave it up in the air for health and other things that could happen, but we plan on being here Thursday. Both Thursdays coming up because they don't actually coincide with holidays this year. So, we're going to be around. So we will still be here the next 2 Thursdays. I believe we are going to try to do our patron live stream on the 23rd.
Mm-hmm.
So patrons, mark that day. I believe that's the day we're aiming for, is the 23rd, that Saturday, again for patrons only. Another announcement is that we will be, I believe, or our patrons will be voting for what language we return to for the next 2 weeks, because we have wrapped up what we were planning on doing, which was revisiting each of the 5 languages to add some vocab. And now we're going to revisit 2 of them. And you all get to decide what we're doing. And so that's going to be a poll for you to consider. And so that is another announcement. And then a final one that I'm thinking of that is more personal in nature is I'm going to keep dropping little hints. They're going to get more serious hints as we move forward, but I do have another very large project in the works, of like Conlang Venture kind of size project, maybe potentially bigger, I don't know. And so that's going to be dropping January 1st. And so, a little teaser. I'm not going to say anything more yet, but I'm hard at work to be prepared for the start of that project on January 1st. And so that is all the announcements. I think I'm staring at my calendar trying to remember if there was anything else. Yay, thank you, Mateus. I don't know that there was anything else that we needed to specifically announce, unless David remembers. Although I guess I can also say a teaser for there should be some new artwork at some point available on Redbubble.
Yeah, we were close to getting that done, but some snags. No, nothing to announce. I'm just... Have we had any diphthongs that don't end in... We do, don't we? How in Haughòf it doesn't have it. Okay. It's just we have a distinction between oi and oi.
Huh.
It's
that's a thing.
Yeah. So
well, this sounds like something for a bigger discussion, David.
Yeah,
and if our
all right.
viewers decide we need to revisit Haughòf, we'll be doing it in the coming weeks, maybe.
Yeah. We got our word for stick. I'm going to add that suffix, but
So we
otherwise...
at least got that.
But otherwise, yeah.
Aw. Jake. All
right.
So...
We're ready. Gonna do something or other somehow. Here we go.
Yes, David's going to be ending our stream. Mm-hmm. Thank you all for being here, and so sorry about whatever happened at the beginning of this stream that kept us from actually being live. Too bad you all missed it.
Yeah, I will say, so somebody's saying like, like Vietnamese has the distinction. I think that the distinction is probably dependent on the consonants that surround it, just like it is in our language. So it's not actually that big a deal. All right, so.
All good. Well, thank you all. Stay grammar, jewelry hells.
Yep.
And all of those things. And we'll see you next week.
All right, bye-bye, everybody.